Hey, what's going on there, guys? Nick here from Absolute MTG, and today we are going to be cracking some packs of Theros. So these packs are coming from my prize winnings from the pre-release. I attended the Saturday pre-release at Top Deck Cards and Games, and for the main event, which was just sealed, ended up coming in second place with a 4-1 record for the rounds. And I ended up getting 15 packs for that. I also did Two-Headed Giant with my good friend Greg, and we ended up getting 4 packs from that each for winning that event. But these are actually going to be saved for the draft tech videos where Greg and I will discuss draft picks and stuff like that. So I'm unfortunately not going to open up these 4 right now, but I did want to still open up the packs that I got from the main event. So we are going to take a look at if we get like any cool stuff out of these packs. So we'll just crack right into it, and I'm pretty much just gonna kind of skim over the commons that we have in these packs. The real stuff that I'm interested in is mainly like the uncommons and the rares. So Rescue from the Underworld, Perforos Emissary, Dauntless Onslaught, and we have Perforos, God of the Forge. So Perforos was actually in my sealed deck for the main event, and he is just absolutely ridiculous. Really happy to get another copy of him. I'm probably going to be playing him in like red deck wins with like a lot of creature heavy cards, things like Boros Reckoners, Rakdos Shred Freaks, Ash Zealots, things of that nature. Perforos is just nuts. He was just really good. Being able to have him just deal 2 to our opponent every time that a creature would enter the battlefield was just nuts. Hopefully you guys had a good time at the pre-release. I know I did. It was a lot of fun. The limited in this format is just a blast to be able to play. We have Flanks Leader, Ordeal of Nylea. We have Prowler's Helm, and we have Nykthos, Shrine to Nyx. So Nykthos is really, really awesome. I really like this card in mono decks, like mono red, or well, not really so much mono red, like maybe like mono black, mono green, like all those mono colors really just get a huge advantage from you being able to play Nykthos. And it's 2 mana tap, choose a color, add to your mana pool an amount of mana that of that color equal to your devotion to that color. So let's say we have like 5 symbols on the battlefield of green. We're gonna pay 2 mana, tap, and we choose green, and we get 5 green to our mana pool, which is definitely really nice, especially if you want to go like playing like 2 mana 3/3 creatures that are like double green that are gonna allow you to play bigger things a whole lot earlier. Like Nykthos is awesome for that. I'm actually pretty excited. Like it's kind of like the Cavern of Souls that we have like after a rotation. It's like one of those utility lands it's specific to what you're playing it for. But I don't know. It just really depends on what else they're going to be printing in the rest of the Theros block, and whether it's just going to be a blowout card or just something that's pretty good as utility but kind of narrow. It's still a cool card nonetheless. I definitely wanted multiples of it. So we have Sea God's Revenge. We have Magma Jet, which is awesome. I definitely wanted more of those. Like, new artwork on it's just awesome. Dauntless Onslaught. And we have a Titan of Eternal Fire, 5/6 for 6. Each human creature you control has 1 red tap. This creature deals 1 damage to target creature or player. And we have a Foil Island, which is cool. I always like getting the foil lands out of packs. It's a cool thing to have, and I'll usually end up using them in decks or something like the cube if I need more lands or something like that. And the artwork in this set's pretty awesome as well. That's one of the things that I really like about new sets, is just being able to see some of the artwork. So we have Artisan's Sorrow. We have Heliod's Emissary. Satyr Piper. And we have Arbor Colossus as our rare. 6/6 for 5, 2 generic and triple green, reach. And he has Monstrous for 6 mana, and his Monstrous is 3. Whenever he becomes Monstrous, destroy target creature with flying and opponent controls. I think this guy is crazy playable. Arbor Colossus is awesome. He's a 6/6 creature for 5 mana, which is definitely value. He already exceeds the mana that you're investing in him in terms of his power toughness. And overall, like the reach is somewhat relevant as well. If your opponent's playing like some type of flyers, then you're able to block them and not allow them to get any evasive damage in there. The Monstrous being able to destroy a flying creature is awesome, but like the following turn being able to make him a 9/9 creature is just ridiculous. Like I really love Arbor Colossus. I think that's another one of those cards that I'm going to like to experiment with and try to build decks like mono green and stuff like that with stuff like Arbor Colossus. So we have Chronicler of Heroes. We have Sentry of the Underworld. Cutthroat Maneuver. And our rare is Whip of Erebos, another pretty solid card here. So, creatures you control have lifelink. It's a 4-cost legendary enchantment artifact, 2 generic and double black. And for 4 mana, 2 generic, double black, tap. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste, exile it at the beginning of the next end step. If it would leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery. So the whip, I think, is really awesome. There's not a whole lot of like big things that you can do with the whip at this point right now, like after rotation. I think that the whip definitely could see like a huge amount of play if the right cards are printed, I guess you could say. If there's the right things that you can reanimate, if there's big enough things that you can reanimate and just put onto the board and cheat them out with like whip and find like dredge strategies to put them in your grave, like the whip could be just a blowout card. It's pretty, like it's really good on its own, but having like that dredge kind of deck built around it is pretty cool as well. So we'll get this going. We're gonna speed through here a little bit quicker, just so that I'm not wasting too much of your time, guys. We have Ordeal of Perforos. We have a Tormented Hero, because you gotta love 2 1s per 1. Favorite Hoplite. And we have a Crowan Horse. So 0/4 for 4 Defender, and whenever it enters the battlefield and the opponent gains control of it, at the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent puts a +1, or +1/+1. It gets a 1/1 white soldier creature token onto the battlefield. Quite an annoying card. I played against it at the pre-release twice, and both times it was just a nuisance. It's such an annoying card to have to play against whenever you don't have any evasion. But it's flavorful. It's definitely flavorful, and that's why I like the card. But I definitely don't like it when it's on my side of the battlefield and my opponent's making 4/4s and I don't have any way to evade them. We have Keepsake Gorgon. We have Spellheart Chimera. So this guy, this is just an absolutely ridiculous uncommon. I really like the Chimera. We have Triton Tactics, and we have Polis Crusher as our rare here. So for some reason, every time anybody sees Polis Crusher, they instantly get a Russian accent. I don't know why. 4/4 for 4, and it has trample and protection from enchantments. 6 mana, 4 generic, 1 red, 1 green. Monsters 3. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, if it's monsters, destroy target enchantment that player controls. And then we have a foil Cavalry Pegasus. So Polis Crusher is another card that I think is just so well-bodied. It's a 4/4 for 4, which is it's just perfect. It's exactly where you want it to be. It's not undervalued. It has trample, it has protections from enchantments, which may or may not be relevant depending on if your opponent plays like gods or anything like that, but being able to destroy like gods or any other enchantments your opponents have is definitely really cool as well. If anything, it could be some sort of sideboard tech, but I definitely think this is another card that could see, it definitely has potential for being playable in like standard. Usually when I'm talking about the majority of these cards and talking about Constructed, it's probably going to be about Standard, less than like Modern or even Legacy. if there's something that stands out for like modern like Swan Song, then I would definitely mention it. We have Hunt the Hunter, Witch's Eye. We have Insatiable Harpy, and our rare is Celestial Archon. 4/4 for 5, bestow for 6 for flying first strike, and the enchanted creature gets +4/+4, has flying and first strike on that bestow enchantment. So the Celestial Archon was the promo for white for the Hero's Path. It was pretty good. I played it in Two-Headed Giant. It was pretty awesome whenever you needed it to be like an enchantment, and it was awesome whenever you wanted it to just be a 4/4 flying evasion creature with first strike. So we have Sea God's Revenge, we have another Magma Jet, happy about that. Cutthroat Maneuver, and we have Gift of Immortality. So Gift of Immortality is pretty cool. It enchants a creature for 3, and when the enchanted creature dies, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. Return Gift of Immortality to the battlefield. Attach that creature at the beginning of the next end step. Gift of Immortality, it's like one of those cards that kitchen table players just absolutely love. And even stuff like EDH, like EDH players are going to love Gift of Immortality. Do I think it's like really, really amazing for Constructed? I probably not, but it's a cool card nonetheless. I like cards like that. It's really good for Limited. Like if nothing else, it's just good for Limited. We have Burnished Heart. We have a Ordeal of Heliod, Flamespeaker Adept, and we have Anger of the Gods, another card that I was actually looking for. So it's a sorcery speed card for 3, 1 generic double red. It deals 3 damage to each creature. If a creature dealt damage this way would die this turn, exile it instead. So it's like a Slagstorm that exiles, which is definitely what I like to see whenever we are potentially going into a meta that could have a ton of Voice of Resurgence decks. Anger of the Gods is just awesome. I want 4 of them to be able to, or at least 3 of them. 3 of them is probably a more appropriate number to want, I guess. 3 of them for like sideboards. Maybe even main boards, depending on how the meta shapes up. So, there we go. We have Anvil Rot Raptor, Centaur Battlemaster, we have Decorated Griffin, and Ember Swallower as our rare. 4/5 for 4, monstrous, 3 for 7. Whenever it becomes monstrous, each player sacrifices 3 lands. So the promo for red that I got to play with for the main event for Sealed. And we just have a few packs left here. 3 more after this one. So don't worry, it's not going to take up way too much of your time. So we have Hunt the Hunter again, we have Witch's Eye, Triton Tactics, and we have Miletti's Charlatan. So 2/3 for 3, and for 3 mana tap, the controller of target instant or sorcery spell copies it. If I can talk today, geez. That player may choose new targets for that copy. So the Charlatans, it's cool. Like it's a card that Greg and I pulled for our Two-Headed Giant, but we ended up just like not playing it, even though we had like good things that we could copy up. Like, or did we? No, we ended up playing it. We did end up playing it. At first, we thought that it was like, not really that great. But then, like, we kind of looked at it and it was like, all right, we have Magma Jets, we have Thunderous Strikes, and we have all this stuff that we can copy up. So, like, in Limited and, like, also if you want to play in, like, EDH or something like that, being able to copy spells is pretty cool as well. Now, let's get to the last packs here. So, we have another Magma Jet. We have Rescue from the Underworld. We have Thassa's Emissary. That was the 3/3/4 crab that I was talking about. And our rare here is Prognostic Sphinx. So 3/5 for 5, flying. Discard a card, and it gains hexproof until the end of the turn. Tap it, and whenever it attacks, we get to scry 3. That's pretty awesome, actually. I haven't had a good chance to look at this card, and I definitely haven't played against or with it, so this is the first real look I've had at it. It's a pretty cool Sphinx. And plus, I mean, gotta love that beard. Is that a beard? Yeah, that's a beard. It has a pretty awesome beard. And I guess also hair. Like real long hair. I don't know. I just think the artwork for it's awesome. Alright, let's see what else. Ordeal of Perforos. We have Ordeal of Thassa, Triton Fortune Hunter, and Hammer of Perforos. Yeah, cool. Legendary enchantment artifact for 3 creatures you control have haste, 3 mana tap, sack a land, and put a 3/3 colorless golem enchantment enchantment artifact creature token onto the battlefield. Let's get it right. Hammer of Perforos is cool. I like it. I think it gives you reach whenever you're playing decks, and it can just plop out more tokens whenever you're like mana screwed playing red. But I don't know how huge it's actually going to be. My guess is not like really overwhelmingly huge to the point where it's like a $20 rare or something like that. But I mean, I don't know. Could be wrong. They could print stuff in the future that could make it even better. We have Vanquish the Foul, which is probably the first copy that I've seen of it all weekend. A Crowan Hoplite. We have Erebos' Emissary. And we have 100-Handed One as our rare. And then we have a Forest and a Satyr token. So 100-Handed One. Probably one of the most interesting cards that was spoiled, and so many jokes were made about this guy whenever we first saw him in our group. So 35 for 4 Vigilance, Monstrosity 3 for 6/3 generic and triple white. As long as he is monstrous, he has reach, and he can block an additional 99 creatures each combat. That flavor, because whenever they name him 100-Handed One, he better be able to block 100 creatures. That's just nuts. I think the 100-Handed One was just probably like the funniest card that they had in this set. So those were the 15 rares that we have out of our 15 packs that we opened from the prize pool. We also got the 3 Magma Jets and the Spellheart Chimera, which I'm pretty happy about. Foil Island, Foil Cavalry Pegasus. Let me know how your weekend went, how your like pre-release went, any cool stuff that you pulled, any cool stuff that you pulled out of the prize packs, any experiences like that. Let me know down in the comments below. Be sure to thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it and would like to see more Magic the Gathering videos. It definitely means a lot to me, and be sure to subscribe for more Magic the Gathering videos. Until next time, guys, I will see you later. Peace out.